I want to be Lee Chong Wei. I want to be a national player. How much training is needed for me to get there? Great to have such ambitious target. Is the amount of training the answer to become as good as Lee Chong Wei? Hello, I'm KJ, the father of Tim Lim, who is now one of the state badminton players in Malaysia. A couple weeks back, I met a friend who is intensifying his teenage boys' badminton training recently. The boy's name is Jack. That is doubling the training from an original 7.5 hour up to 15 hours a week. 2 weeks after training is intensified, I met Jack in badminton court. Seeing him in action, I can observe that he is more consistent with some of his shots, but overall movement is slow. Jack shared with me that the hamstring and the tight muscle are all hardening, and he couldn't play his usual game and asking for help. Many badminton players are eager to grow stronger. The one thing they always have in mind is to train more. Many youth players believe that the more they train, the better they will be. More than often, they benchmark their friends who are playing better, and the next thing is they'll follow exactly what their friends are doing, thinking that they will just get stronger by doing the same thing. I'm sorry, but it doesn't work that way. Please stay tuned to the end of the video because I will share with you on things that we must not do as a badminton player relevant to training. A microcycle is the shortest training cycle, typically lasting a week, with the goal of facilitating a focused block of training. For badminton players, within a microcycle, the load should vary in a recycling fashion. Take a closer look at the bar chart. A microcycle will usually start with an average training load day, then going into heavy load, then going into a lighter training day before the rest day comes. The design of the training is done so that the body will have opportunity to recover and gain strength during the lighter training and the rest day. Take a quick look at the following diagram. Vertically is the fitness level of an athlete. Horizontally is the time axis. It is illustrating an example of 5-week cycle or 5 microcycles. In badminton's training world, a weekly cycle is commonly called as a microcycle. The key message from the diagram is after every microcycle of training, the badminton player must have a higher fitness baseline compared to the previous microcycle. The key call out here is the recovery outcome must surpass the training effort. Let me repeat. Super important. The recovery outcome must surpass the training effort. Then only the athlete will grow stronger. Coming back to the main question of how much training should a badminton player go through is completely depending on how fit the player is. If Jack is training at 15 hours per microcycle, you should keep the 15 hours per microcycle until the 4th cycle, assess it, then only bump it up to 18 hours per microcycle as an example. Let's look at another scenario. A player's recovery outcome is lower than the training effort. Let me say that again. The recovery outcome is lower than the training effort. It is resulting in his fitness baseline decreased. This is a clear sign that badminton player cannot handle the training load with his recovery action or lifestyle. If this carries on, you will see injury happening very often, and there's just no point continuing the program in this manner. What needs to be done immediately is to lower the training load and drive more effective recovery actions. If you want to become a better badminton player or assisting someone to be one, I encourage you to subscribe to the channel. What is recovery and what is the key actions in it? Number 1, the simplest and the most important is sleeping. 8 hours a day is the minimum an athlete should have. Ideally, a short nap before the afternoon training will help to recover your mental focus. Today's society is filled with various digital and physical social activities. A successful athlete must have the discipline to switch off the social platforms and get the needed sleep. If social activities are your priorities, I'll advise you to stop your badminton training because you will not go far. In short, 8 hours of sleep is not negotiable. Number 2, the food intake habit is critical for your body recovery. Immediate protein powder intake within 30 minutes after the training is absolutely critical for recovery process. For athletes who are below 15-year-old, it is recommended to take plant-based protein instead of the whey-based proteins. Other than protein, your day-to-day balanced diet food intake is very important to maintain a healthy body. Taking lots of fruits and vegetables, yes, you hear me right, it's fruits and vegetables. It's very helpful in recovery process. It is generally anti-inflammatory and it will speed up the recovery process. For teenagers who are growing, it is a must to ensure you are eating enough for both sports and growth purpose. For the complete food intake advice, please refer to another video I have uploaded in the channel. Number 3, proper hydration is essential for athletes to maintain recovery process. Very straightforward. Just drink enough water before, during, and after the training. In general water consumption, theoretically, one should drink smaller intake constantly over time so that the body could absorb it better. It is not okay to drink lots of water after a few hours without drinking any. Number 4, warming up and cooling down for your body before and after the training. It sounded simple, but it's always the deadliest trap for athletes not doing enough in this section. The benefits of warming up before a workout can provide many positive outcomes. They include increased blood and oxygen circulation, therefore activating the muscles. Increased body temperature will increase elasticity in the muscle, and lastly, less strain on the heart to pump blood throughout the system. On another hand, cooling down helps to lower your heart rate and breathing gradually. It also helps remove acid lactic from your muscles. Stopping an intense activity without cooling down will contribute to a buildup of toxic substances and acid lactic, which will cause muscular pain and stiffness in longer run. Eventually, it will be the reason that leads to injury. The real challenge on this is not lack of knowledge on warm up and cooling down. It is the discipline to do it and investing sufficient time and patience on it. Number 5, sports massage and engagement with physiotherapists. Many badminton players ignore this critical step, which eventually lead to injury. No matter how hardworking we are on the warming up and cooling down procedures, there will be remnants of acid lactic at certain part of your muscles. For one of the bad experiences that we have gone through with Tim's injury, please refer to the video on the screen. The longer term solution is really to engage a physiotherapist, come sports massage service on an ongoing basis, preferably every week or every 2 weeks. Allow the physiotherapist to assess your condition and allow him or her to do the necessary sports massage to soften the muscle. Please support the video by pressing the like button. It will help the video to reach out to a wider audience. Let's do some benchmarking on training with the Malaysia's national junior team. They are normally training 5 hours a day in 2 different sessions with 1.5 days off in a week. So just do the math. It will be 5.5 days times 5 hours, which is 27 hours per week. Let's round it up to 30 hours as a benchmark because I knew most of them still do their private training or sparring during the off days. If Jack would want to ramp his training hours to match the national level, it would take at least a year, if not 2, to get there. Ramping it up without going through proper assessment will simply put Jack in a serious risk of injury. As promised, I want to share a very important observation. It is about the risk of overtrain during younger age. If the badminton player is at early age, typically below 13, he or she is at critical period of puberty. Parents, please do not overtrain the kid by doing 25 or 30 hours of training a week. Through years of being in badminton courts, I have eyewitnessed many cases of overtrained young players, mostly boys, who are unable to grow normally like other kids. They will win many tournaments during young age, but chances are they will continue to stay small and short because of the muscle over-tightening due to the overtrained. By doing that, you are risking your very own child's future just because you are blinded with winning tournaments during their young age. It means nothing winning at age of 12 or 13, even younger. Their mission at that age is to equip them with the right skill and allow their body to grow as much as possible. Smile last, smile best. Some of you might be wondering how to choose a one-to-one coach for your badminton training. You can refer to the video that I've shared on the screen for some guidance. If you feel the video can help the people that you know, please share with them. Remember, the more we share, the more we gain.